Good morning, everybody, on this Saturday morning. Welcome back to Conversations with Mother. I have my fancy mug this morning. Don't talk to me till I've had my orgasm.
Mine doesn't say anything cool.
I thank you for this wonderful
You're welcome.
This is the one that I walk around the house with now. But anyways, welcome to Saturday morning. We hope you had your coffee. We're going to be getting into some things today. But before we get into some things today, Mother has something she would like to say.
So I want to name something really gently. So in this episode, we're going to use those words like racism, colonization, decolonization, the patriarchy, misogyny, capitalism, religious trauma, oppression, and systemic harm. And sometimes those words can bring up strong feelings, and I don't want to disregard that. And some people may feel really validated. Some can feel grief and anger and defensiveness, or feel shut down, or just a general feeling of discomfort or the urge to turn the episode off. Stay with us, I promise.
Yeah.
There's something more.
Because even that reaction of turning it off can be information.
Exactly. So like, as you listen, pay attention to what's going on in your body. Notice if you tense up or if you soften. Soften. I put the T in there. Soften. Or if you feel seen, or you feel like you want to argue about it, or you want to take a break from it, or you just feel like you need to breathe. You're allowed to take care of yourself while staying curious. So this episode is not about shame ever. And no episode is ever about shame. Unless we're on the shame episode.
Unless we're on the shame episode, then it is strictly about shame.
But we're all about like widening our lens, right?
Yes. Yeah. So with that, welcome to this morning's episode. I hope you had your coffee, as you just heard. If not, sip it with us. But today's episode is called "Who Wrote the Story You're Healing From?"
Yeah,
which
wrote it?
Yeah. Sometimes I wonder who the hell the author is. And I feel like this is one of those episodes where we start with therapy and end up asking much bigger questions about bodies, money, anger, spirituality, family systems that like quietly, or family and the systems, I guess, that quietly like shaped all of it.
Yeah. And again, I want to state very clearly that I am not here to like drag therapists. I came into this field because I love therapy. I believe in therapy. I believe in the coping skills. I believe in the trauma work. I believe in that attachment work. I believe in the somatic work, right? Or working in grief and the inner child, medication when it's needed, nervous system regulation, and the tools that help people survive long enough to have choices. It's okay to survive. But lately, I keep coming back to this question. What happens when therapy helps us understand our story, but doesn't help us see the systems that helped write it? I was just speaking with my supervisor about like, I'm in therapy and I find we find that core belief system. And then it's like, what next?
Yeah. Well, it feels like that's like opening the door. Like maybe that's like the revolving door that's like, it's the door widening.
And I'm sitting there going,
opening.
Do I go yet?
Yeah, right.
Do I go yet? Right. Because therapy often gives us that place to like slow down, take a deep breath, that safe place. We get to sit down and look at our story, the family that we came from, because that's always like one of my first questions. Where are you from? Who were you raised by? What did they do? And we also look at like the relationships that we keep repeating, the shame that we carry in our bodies, the fear that we feel around money, or the ways that we learn to cope when life became too much. And sometimes in those moments, we notice like what happens in our body, that tight chest, the clenched jaw, that feeling of like everything just drops in your stomach. The shoulder, The shoulders that
The
never fully come
shoulders.
down.
Oh my god, the shoulders. I sit there at my desk going, oh, and I relax. I'm like, oh, there it is.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Take a deep breath.
Yeah, the shoulders.
And all of that matters, right? Because your story matters. And if I didn't believe that, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah. Well, I want to say before we keep going, Rachel Hurtado.
Yes.
She said, Michelle, I love you. Just dropping by to say hi.
Oh, hi, Rachel.
Yeah. So going off of what you said, like, we're not saying don't look at your story.
Yes. We're saying look at your story.
Yeah.
Honor it. But also, who helped write it?
Mm-hmm.
And I think because while we're in therapy or wherever we're at, like examining our own personal story, even if it's just on our own, the systems that shape that story they're all still running in the background. They're still unedited. They're still teaching people to heal their bodies or hate their bodies, distrust their anger, hustle. You better hustle, overwork yourself. That's our culture, right? Stay quiet, accept less, hide your queerness, stay in that closet, right? Or fear your spirituality and disconnect from culture and call all of that normal. Like, that's just normal. Just don't do anything that makes you happy.
Like, therapy can help us like mop the floor, but sometimes like nobody asks why the sink is still overflowing.
Right? And then you have to mop the floor and then you're still standing in water. So now you need towels and you need support and you need to stabilize. But if no one ever asks, why is the sink overflowing? You're going to spend your whole life mopping the floor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. At some point, somebody has to check the pipes.
Right. And emotionally speaking, those pipes are super suspicious.
Yeah. No, well, the pipes have been making noise for years, but, everybody just like grabs the TV remote and turns the TV up.
Exactly. So that's the episode, right? So therapy can help us cope. Self-work can help us cope. But we also have to ask what we are coping with. Because if we only ask, how do I tolerate this better? Hold on, let me box breathe my way through this. We miss the deeper question. Should I have been expected to tolerate all of this at all?
Yeah. And I like that you're holding both pieces, like, because sometimes conversations like this can start sounding like personal healing is fake. Therapy is just individualism. Burn everything down.
That's only when there's spiders in your house.
No, I don't do the spiders.
Right? And that's not what I mean, though. Personal healing is it's real. It's a visceral. We're carrying these real wounds.
Yeah.
People have trauma, grief, attachment wounds, everything I talked about before, that religious shame, body shame, anxiety, depression, family roles, relationship patterns, survival responses. And the system can sometimes explain the wound, but that person still has to continue to feel it.
Yeah. And that line feels important. The system may explain the wound, but the person still has to feel it.
Yeah. And that's why both matter, right? Like your personal story matters, the system story matters, and they're braided together.
Mm-hmm.
So like when we think about money, and this is a big one that comes up in therapy all the time, and we can help people understand why money feels scary. Money is scary.
Yeah.
Maybe they grew up with scarcity and no money. Maybe they watched adults fight about bills and money. Maybe money meant safety or control, shame, power, or even just simple survival.
Yeah.
And that's important work. But if we never talk about capitalism, debt, wonderful world of medical insurance and bills, wage pressure, classism, generational wealth, and a culture that ties your human worth to productivity. How much can you actually produce in your lifetime? Then we make money anxiety sound like it lives in just you as a person.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes anxiety is responding to the fact that one emergency can knock everything over.
Mm-hmm. And there's nothing left.
Mm-mm.
And a lot of people are told to just mindset your way out of material reality.
Which, in fact, feels like somebody handing you a teaspoon and being like, here, empty a swimming pool. Have fun.
And
Go empty the ocean.
Right, go empty the ocean, and then being asked, have you tried being more consistent with that teaspoon? Did you do a 12-hour shift with that?
God, the fucking teaspoon is not the issue, Brenda.
I know. It's never going to save us. But that's what I mean about like widening that lens, right? So like instead of like honing in on like that focus, we're going to expand it. We're not going to replace that personal story, because if therapy or self-exploration only helps us say, here's my pattern, but never asks, who taught you this pattern? And who benefits from you continuing to create that pattern over and over again? That's when we miss something.
Yeah, it's who benefits from this version of me.
Yes. And who benefits from the version of me that stays quiet or that works over time? The version of me that treats rest like something I have to earn. Sorry, I didn't mean to call you out there.
Ow, it hurts. Yes, that's me.
Or the version that turns anger inward before it becomes information.
Yeah. And that feels different than asking, like, what's wrong with me?
It is different, right? Because now we're not only looking at the wound, we're looking at the conditions that kept the wound useful to someone or something.
Yeah. I want to say good morning to Angel. Glad you're joining us and starting your morning with us, having your coffee. I just finished mine. I'm out.
I know.
But anyways, I want to talk about symptoms, because this is where people can feel really blamed. Like my anxiety is my fault. I feel like doing the Girl Scout pledge right now, because that's what I feel like doing. My anxiety is that how you do it?
I don't remember.
My anxiety is my fault. My people pleasing is my fault.
Mm-hmm.
My shutdown is my fault. This is currently something that I'm undoing in my own like healing journey.
Yeah.
Is not realizing that all this shit is not my fault.
No, it was survival mode.
Yeah.
It totally was. And it's like you are in that system and you're like, how do I survive this system? Especially like people pleasing. That's a big one, right? So people pleasing, it's like, in order to stay in this space, I need to make sure everybody is taken care of. I need to make sure everything is put together, whatever we've learned from our wonderful systems that we live in that served a purpose. They did. But we can accidentally take that survival response and make it sound like a personal failure.
Mm-hmm.
And many symptoms are an intelligent response to conditions that weren't safe or fair or humane, or they weren't sustainable.
Yeah.
And anxiety may be a body that learns there was a threat and that threat was real. People pleasing may be a strategy learned in system where if you disagree, you don't belong in here anymore. And disassociation may be the body's way of leaving when leaving wasn't physically possible. And when we talk about perfectionism, it could be a survival in a world where mistakes are not punished equally.
Yeah. Which makes me think about being a queer kid in a religious community. Like, if I only called that anxiety, I miss the entire system in which I was raised. Like, the anxiety was real, but it was responding to something very real.
Yeah. And sometimes that anxiety is not lying, because it's accurately detecting the danger in a room that taught you that your truth is totally unsafe.
Yeah. And that feels different than I just need to calm down and box breathe.
Let's just breathe through this.
Yeah, that feels very different.
It is very different. And calming down, like, don't get me wrong, calming down is useful. There's so much science behind breathing. Mm-hmm. It's so effective and it's so useful. especially to calm that nervous system. But if the room is dangerous, your body may not need to be convinced that everything is fine. It's fine. I'm not angry. I'm sitting in a room full of alligators. If I just sit here and breathe through it, I'll be fine. I'm going to calm myself, and the alligators are going to calm themselves too. But you need safety, support, a plan, community. Get me out of this fucking room. A way out. Some kind of protection.
Yeah. So regulation is not pretending everything is fine.
Right. It's not. Regulation is not denial. Regulation is not submission. Regulation is not becoming easier for harmful people to manage. Regulation should help you access a choice. Mm-hmm. And it should help you tell the truth. It should help you feel you or not. It should help you stop abandoning yourself. And I don't want this to become like, this is a way to help, people become better at abandoning themselves calmly.
Yeah, that's a sentence right there.
Right, because a lot of us have done that, though.
Yes.
We learned to sound mature when swallowing the truth that we actually had. And we learned to breathe through disrespect. And we learned to use coping skills to stay in the dynamics that were just freaking draining us. And we learned to call ourselves triggered or activated when maybe we were also accurately noticing something that was harming us.
And that gets complicated, though, because sometimes trauma doesn't distort things, or does distort things. I'm sorry. Let me speak. Coffee's just now kicking in. I have 5 or 6 cylinders running. The 6th one is starting up now. Let me rephrase that. That gets complicated because sometimes trauma does distort things.
Absolutely. And I've realized that trauma shapes how we see things, right? So the past shows up in the present and our body responds like it's happening right now. And that's real. Yeah. But not every response is distortion. Sometimes your anger is actual information. Sometimes that exhaustion, it's data.
Yeah.
And sometimes your resentment is part of you that finally noticed that the arrangement is totally and completely unfair.
Resentment as data.
Yeah.
I just realized we both say data differently. You say data, I say data. Anyways, go ahead.
Oh, data.
Yeah, I say data.
Yeah, like Goonies?
Sure.
You don't know that movie?
I do know that movie, please. Listen, I've had enough of feeling old over the last couple of days, okay?
You don't like telling the kids how to use a cassette player.
Sidetrack, we're going to have a fun story real quick. Got into the car with all the kids in the house yesterday, and I was the oldest one by a whole decade. And they were like, we're going to take the old car because it has a tape deck. And I was like, all right, cool, whatever. So they go to put the tape in the wrong side. And I was like, other way around. And they were like, oh, like this? And I said, yeah. And they pushed it in. They were like, I'm scared. And I was like, just push it in. Push it in, it goes in. And then it starts playing. And he's like, no, I want to. And he goes to rewind. He's like, will it stop on its own? I was like, yes. And then all of a sudden, Bonnie Tyler's Total Eclipse of the Heart starts playing. I'm like, I'm fucking old. My back hurts. Anyways, sorry. That's a little sidetrack rabbit trail for you. Feeling old yesterday. But yes, resentment as data.
Right. Analyze it, right? So it's not, when we talk about it, it's not permission to harm. It's not the whole truth, but it's information. It's something that we can get curious about before we shame it.
Yeah. Yeah. So what is therapy supposed to do with all of this?
I don't know. Why are you asking me?
Gee, I wonder, mother.
I'm just kidding. So when we talk about therapy, or however you're doing therapy, whether it's just through self-exploration, self-education, right? It has to be in a place where we're brave enough to do both things. It's an and also. And because it helps us survive. But if somebody is in crisis, or like if somebody can't sleep, or if somebody's having a panic attack, if somebody is deep in grief, if somebody is trying to not self-destruct, stabilization matters, right? Coping matters, medication matters. I don't discount science ever. I spent 15 years in the medical field. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, medication serves no purpose. No, please don't ever think that that's how I think. Yeah. I love medication. Pain is an indication that something is wrong. Here is a pill to take that pain away while we find out where it's coming from.
Living better through pharmaceuticals.
Yes. While we find out what's actually going on. So breathing, food, sleep, hydration, support, and getting through the next hour when we're in crisis mode. Those are the things that matter.
Yeah. That's the thing. Survival is not small.
No, it's not. Survival it's sacred, right? Especially for those who are targeted by oppressive systems. For some people, staying alive, staying human, staying soft, staying housed, staying sober, staying connected, or in their body, that's resistance. But another question that can live like besides survival is, am I healing only what I can to survive the system, or am I healing so I can stop cooperating with my own oppression?
Oof, that's heavy. Oof.
It is, right? And I this is where we have to get gentle, and we have to get soft about these things, because I'm privileged, and I know that. I'm fully aware of that.
Right.
And I know that not everyone has the same options. And not everyone can leave a situation that they want to leave, or not everyone is able to confront their family. And not everyone can risk their job or housing or safety or relationships, their immigration status, community, or even just risking their support system. So this is not about like shaming people ever for doing what they have to do to survive, but it's about asking whether healing is giving us more capacity, more awareness, more connection, more truth, and more choices.
Yeah. Quick shout out, just real quick, to Bill and John. Good morning. And Manny says, I used to be skeptical of medication. Here I am now, one of the biggest advocates. It literally saved my life.
Hell yeah, Manny. That's awesome.
So therapy can help you tolerate the intolerable, or it can even help you notice that something is intolerable.
Yeah. And sometimes it has to do both in stages. First, let's help you survive.
Yeah.
It's like giving the medication. Here, let's not be in pain, or let's not be in a mental state that we can't like sit down and actually have a conversation, and let's treat those symptoms. And we help you survive. Then we can help you ask what survival has been costing you. Then maybe we help you build enough support so you can make a different choice. And maybe that choice is just internal at first, right? So it's like, I'm not crazy for being angry, or I'm not broken for feeling exhausted.
Yeah.
Or this shame, it's not mine.
Yeah.
It didn't begin with me.
That's a good one. But and that feels more possible than like go dismantle your whole life by dinner.
Oh God, please don't put that on your to-do list, like at all.
Number one, go to the grocery store. Number 2, dismantle entire systems, and dismantle inherited systems of harm.
Okay, that's too much for like one after. That's too much for one afternoon.
You and I, of course, are like, one afternoon. Could we do it? I bet we could.
It'd be 3:00 in the morning when we're done, but we were like, we did it in an afternoon.
We're coming out in our coffee-filled haze.
Right.
Peter and Tyler are like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all?
Nothing. We dismantled systems.
Yeah, right.
But the goal is not to like overwhelm people.
Yeah.
It's to expand that question. And like we always say, get curious. We're getting curious. We're asking questions. So instead of only asking, how do I manage this symptom? We might ask what the symptom has been responding to. We're going to find that. We're going to find out what's going on, what's actually going on. Maybe anxiety makes sense in a workplace that keeps moving the goalpost of expectations. And maybe resentment makes sense in a relationship where one person is carrying most of that emotional labor. And maybe exhaustion makes sense in a culture that calls burnout ambition.
Oh my God, the amount of people on my Facebook sometimes that are like, oh my God, I was at the office until 11:30 tonight. I'm like, that's not a big of a flex.
No kidding, right?
That is not as big of a flex as you think it is. I'm sorry. So this is enemy. Sometimes it's the receipt.
Yeah, and I would like to stop paying for things with my whole nervous system, please. So, and I think like that's a good question, right? Like that's like one of the biggest questions of the episode. What am I fitting into, and what is it costing me?
Yeah. True. Well, and it feels like this feels like where that book you were talking about kind of comes to fit in. But first, we have a quick question, real quick, from the comments. This is from Jalen. He says, "Do you feel like we use medication as a crutch to face the things we try to face in therapy?"
Absolutely not. Medication serves a purpose, right? So when we're in this heightened state of emotion, medication serves a purpose to bring us out of that heightened state and to bring us into a place where we can have that calm, we can have that peace, and we can have the space to go, okay, now that I'm calm, let me take a look at what it's costing me to fit into these systems.
Yeah.
Medication can sometimes be temporary. I myself use medication to get myself through EMDR. I don't think I could have gotten through reliving some of the traumas, not in the session, but like after the session without medication.
Yeah.
So like in the session, it was fine. I'm not like in the moment, which is what EMDR is so wonderful with, is that you're not in the moment anymore. You take a step back and you're looking at it and you can see it from a different perspective. But if I walked into session every time thinking, oh my God, I'm going to go home and I'm going to feel like shit, and I don't have anything to help me like get out of that fight or flight mode,
yeah,
I wouldn't have gone back. But knowing that I had medication to support me through it made me feel a lot better. And then the other thing is that some of us have chemical imbalances. Some of us need that medication on a regular basis. It's not something that we're going to live without. I have hyperthyroidism. I can't go a day without taking my medication because I don't create that chemical in my body anymore. So I don't think it's a crutch, but I think that, with proper treatment, proper guidance, we can treat medication as, do I need to be on this forever because I have a chemical imbalance? Or can I use this while we're working through the really hard stuff and then maybe taper off when I'm done?
Yeah. Well, and I think that also ties into there's such a stigma around being on medication for mental health reasons.
Yes.
And I absolutely hate that.
Yep. And that's part of those systems.
Living better through pharmaceuticals.
Right.
Exactly it. But yes, Natasha says meds are just another tool in your toolbox. It's good to have tools.
Absolutely,
I agree
Tasha,
with that.
I agree.
Big time. But okay, so I want to go back because this feels like where that book you were talking about is going to come into the conversation.
Yes. So, oh God. Okay. I've been reading and researching Dr. Jennifer Mullen's work around decolonizing therapy. And it's really like just kind of been sitting and resonating with me because it challenges us to ask the bigger questions about healing, right? So what if healing wasn't just personal? What if healing was also, because I bring it up all the time, shit, this is political. Everything now it's fucking political.
Yeah.
You can't get away from it.
Yeah.
So what if healing is also political? What if it's relational, cultural, spiritual? And collective? What if we can't fully understand a person's pain without asking, what are those systems that shaped that pain?
Well, and that feels like it fits everything that we have been building toward.
Yes, it does. Because decolonizing therapy is not just adding the word systems to a sentence and calling it done, right? So it challenges us to question some of the assumptions underneath the healing itself.
Mm-hmm.
Who decided what healthy looks like? We had this conversation when we started this podcast. I was like, can we get a new camera?
Yeah.
Can we get a new camera? I don't look like every other girl on Instagram when we're on this camera. And it was a point of pain and hurt. But then I realized, right, who decided what healthy looks like?
Mm-hmm.
Who decided what counts as normal? Who decided what emotions are acceptable? Because I get passionate, right?
Yeah.
And who decided what spirituality was legitimate? Small segue.
Okay.
I don't know if I sent it to you. I sent Tyler a post this morning that we should normalize calling it Christian mythology. Sorry, that was my segue, right? But like, who decided what spirituality is legitimate? And I don't want to say like believing in a higher power isn't a legitimate belief, but who decided that? And who decided what family should look like or what healing itself should look like?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, and who benefits if healing just means becoming calmer, more productive, easier to manage?
Oh my God, right. Absolutely, 100%. It's that's where we need to take that time to take that space and just pause. Because if doing the work only helps somebody become more productive inside exploitation, more pleasant inside oppressiveness, more regulated inside disrespect, or more quiet. I was going to say quieter. That's not a word. More quiet inside of those systems that harm us, then we have to ask what healing is serving, who healing is serving. And for me, it's like, I want, and it's not all about what I want, right? But like, I want to have healing help people become more whole and more connected to themselves.
Yeah.
And more able to love and be loved and able to rest and able to tell the truth without having to worry about who, what harm my truth is going to cause, or more able to participate in community and more able to like resist the things that dehumanize them as people. I want that so badly.
Yeah. Well, and that the question then becomes like, what are we healing for?
Yeah. What are we healing for? Are we healing to become more free? Are we healing to stop passing harm to the next generation? I did.
Yeah.
Are we healing to reconnect with body, land, culture, ancestors, intuition, joy, and each other?
Yeah.
Or are we healing just enough to return to the same conditions that made us sick, but with better breathing techniques?
The breathing techniques are still useful.
Yes, they are. They're very useful. I just don't get to like breathing just doesn't get to be the entire like revolution, right? We're not going to heal the world by breathing through it.
Well, I mean, that's fair. That feels fair. Yeah.
Breathing matters. Please breathe.
Please breathe.
But breathing through harm is not the same as ending the harm.
Yeah. And I want to bring like in the spiritual piece too. Because for both of us, healing is not only psychological.
It's not, right? So it's relational, it's systemic, and it's spiritual for the both of us. And when I say spiritual, I don't mean we have one neat answer that fits in a little box. I mean, we're in a relationship with mystery, right? So there's intuition, energy, ancestors, signs, dreams, the unseen, the highest self, and the part of us that knows when something is aligned and when something is not. It's that inner gut feeling.
Yeah. And not everybody listening is going to use that kind of language that we're used to using.
Right. And some people can call it prayer. Some people may call it culture or nature or call it nervous system wisdom or gut feeling. And some people may not call it anything, and that's okay. The language doesn't have to match for the experience or the intention to matter. But when we look at it through that like decolonizing lens, I think we have to ask what forms of knowing people were taught to fear or forget. So, for some communities, language, ceremony, land based practices, ancestral healing, and intuitive ways of knowing were punished. They were mocked, they were demonized, or later repackaged by the same systems that once called them dangerous. You know, appropriation, can't live without that.
I have a whole spiel I could go in on this, but that feels that feels personal too, because with paganism, I'm just having a hard time figuring out exactly what I personally want to call it. I don't want to just label it just paganism. Yes, it's rooted in spirituality. It's rooted in paganism for me, yes. Yeah. But paganism and mediumship, like I had to unlearn the fear that anything outside of one approved religious structure was automatically evil. Like I heard that I was evil. Mm-hmm. I'm not evil. I'm fabulous.
Yes, you are. Fabulous, babe. Right. And that's why the personal story and the system story are nicely braided together.
Yeah.
And it's not just like, why did I feel afraid? It's also, what was I taught to fear? It's not just like, why did I distrust myself? It's also, who benefited from me distrusting myself?
Yeah. Well, and I want to come back with that. Like, I kind of want to come back to the question of like, what are we healing for? Like, I want to bring that back.
Yeah, because I think that question, like, it keeps this episode from just becoming critique, right?
Right.
We're not asking, like, what does therapy get wrong? We're asking what it can be or what healing can be. It's not just about therapy. It's about, like, self-learning, self-exploration. What can the healing inside of that be? What if healing is not only learning how to function? Or what if healing is learning how to stop turning violence inward? What if healing is building the capacity to say no?
Yeah.
And what if healing reconnects us with community instead of becoming a perfectly self-regulated island? Because I need my peoples.
A perfectly self-regulated island sounds awful.
It does, yeah. It's like very calm, but it's very lonely. And no one to help you move furniture.
Immediate downgrade.
Exactly. So healing cannot be only like individual if the wound is collective and not if the harm is systemic. So if what hurt us was isolation, disconnection, oppression, silence, shame, and powerlessness, it doesn't mean that individual work is completely useless. It just means individual work has to or will connect us to something larger.
So then maybe the question is not only how do I feel better?
Right. Maybe it's how do I become more honest? Or how do I become more connected? Because now we're isolated because we put ourselves on that island, right?
Right.
Or how do I stop participating in my own erasure? And how do I stop passing harm forward? Or maybe it's just as simple as, how do I build enough safety in my body to make different choices?
See, to me, that feels like hope, but it's not like that shiny fake shit. You know, like, I mean,
Right.
it feels like legitimate hope.
Not inspirational poster hope.
Yeah.
Not everything happens for a reason.
Live, laugh, love, babe.
Oh my. No.
I want the sign that says live, laugh, love, and it has all three scratched down. It says stab, stab, stab.
Yes, I like that one better. Right, because some things, like, they didn't need to happen.
Yeah.
And some things were definitely not lessons. Some things were simply just fucking harm. And systems doing exactly what they were designed to do. And the hope is that we can, like, once we name it, right, we can stop calling it our own personal defect. And once we stop calling it our own personal defect, we can decide what we want to do with the energy we were using to hate ourselves.
Ooh. That's really good. That's what did we do with the energy we were using to hate ourselves?
Mm-hmm. Maybe you rest.
Nah, I'm gonna start a cult. No, I'm just kidding.
We already did.
We already did.
But I mean, that's it, right? So maybe, like, now that we're not holding all that space for that.
Wait, all joking aside, we did not start a cult.
No, we didn't. No, we didn't.
I need to clarify that because I forget. Sometimes we joke about it, but this is going to be broadcasted out. We did not start a cult.
They just call me mother.
All I can hear is RuPaul's song, Call Me Mother, every time somebody says, you call her mother.
That's so funny. No, we did not make the cult.
Anyways, sorry, go ahead.
So, without having all that energy spent on, like, I need to hate myself for not doing the things or looking the way that I need to look or being the way that I need to, we can have that time to rest, you know, or grieve or create, organize. We can take ourselves out of that situation and we can parent differently, you know. When I found safety, I was able to revamp the way I parented. Yeah. I was able to not love the way I was taught how to love. And that might be part of that healing, is now we have the time to love differently or reconnect with culture or spirituality, build community, or maybe we simply survive one more day with more tenderness and softness for ourselves than we had yesterday, because that counts too.
Yeah.
And for anyone listening who's, like, still in it, still in that family system, the job, the relationship, the fear, the body shame, the religion, the survival of it all, we're not sitting here like, fix your whole life today.
Yeah.
I love bringing up these, like, questionable actions of, like, what do we do, right? Because sometimes the first step is literally just noting that your pain actually does make sense. And you can finally say, maybe I'm not broken. And sometimes when we move into the first step of healing, it's finding that one safe person.
Yeah.
Or the first step is letting a question walk beside you. You know, like, just sitting back and be like, what would healing look like if I was not just tolerating all of this?
Yeah. Yeah. That's a question somebody can definitely carry.
Yeah.
With them.
And, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, you don't have to, none of these are questions that you have to answer immediately, but, like, I love bringing this shit up. Like, just carry it. Just let's interrupt that shame cycle just a little bit. Let's remind you that your pain has context. And so sometimes, you know, the question is not only like, what is wrong with me? I don't like that question.
Yeah, I hate that question too.
Right. So, and then we can bring it back to, like, what happened to me?
Yeah.
That's what I like. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but it's like that's the first thing when somebody says something to me, and they're because I've been very open about my healing journey since my divorce, just on Facebook, and a lot of people like have said the question to me, "Well, what's wrong with me?" I'm like, nothing is wrong with you. You've got to learn to deconstruct this shit and look at what we're talking about, the system, which is why we started with family systems in episode 1. Anyways, go ahead.
And then we can move on into accountability, because we all have accountability that we have to take.
Yep.
But we'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll get there. This is the long haul, guys.
Yes, this is the long haul. Right now we're asking, instead of like, what's wrong with me? What happened to me? Right?
Yeah.
And then what systems made that possible? And I think the big question for me is like, what do I want to reclaim?
Yeah, that's a big one, and that feels like the path, like that, or not always the path forward. Maybe something to come back to. Like that's one that I do this.
Yeah,
Here's my healing journey path. Is my the what do I want to reclaim path is to the left just a little bit. It's a little tiny path that goes along with the healing path.
Yeah.
And I jump back and forth between them because I'm like, oh, I like the big path because this is fun, and the trees are overgrown. And then I'm like, no, I want to go tromp around in the woods a little bit and get dirty a little bit. Like, what do I want to reclaim?
I know, and it's like we've all lost ourselves in some way, shape, or form along the way, right?
Yeah.
And that's normal. Like it's not something that's not normal. It's one of those things where like somebody asked me this past week of like, what's the difference, because I love a lot of people and I enjoy being with a lot of people. And somebody asked me, well, what do I bring? And I had to think about it. And I thought, I get to go and I get to be with you, and I don't get to be mother.
Yeah.
And I don't have to be partner Michelle or wife Michelle or somebody who's a part of the household. I can just be. And that's where we go back, right? Like back to who we were in the beginning, or who we were without all the family stories that we have, who we go back to that role, or back to the wound, or back into our bodies, back to our culture, back to our ancestors, or whoever we see as like that spirituality, back to the younger self. I used to have so much fun, and we're not living there again, but we want to understand what happened there. What can we take from who we were in those beautiful moments? And then we get to bring back those parts that got left behind. And then we can build something different on that. And because we've talked about this, healing is not only deconstructing. We're not going to just go in there with a freaking sledgehammer. We're going to bring the drill and the hammer and the nails, and we're going to construct too. So it's not only asking like, what harmed me? It's asking, what do I want to build now that I can see more clearly? And I feel like that's where we're going with this,
That feels like the next step for the future episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
And just becoming like, hey, right now it's been like dictated by us. Please leave a comment. What do you want to talk about?
Oh, absolutely. I love when y'all jump in the comments, and I love whenever y'all ask the questions. It gives us a second to kind of derail from what we want to talk about and help y'all tie in what you may have questions with into what we're actually covering.
Yeah.
I mean, because we are, like we said just a second ago, like this is the long haul. Like we are starting this foundation. I know we're 7 episodes in now. If you missed them, go back and watch them, because we're building up on stuff. And I just had a really beautiful image of like, we've lived in this house for so long, like our bodies, let's say, our lives, let's say, and we started out, however many years ago we did. And now at my age, I have a 37-year-old house, and it's time to redo the wallpaper, and it's time to like fix a few cracks here or there. So it's not all about the sledgehammer in the house and knocking down the walls. We're going to make it pretty.
Yes.
Like it's not just
comfy.
about, it's about pulling down the old and putting up the new.
Yeah.
And I think that's a beautiful thing. So
Well, y'all, if this resonated with you, please feel free to share it out. Leave a comment, ask us questions. We will answer any of them, even after the live. If you have any, if you're listening to on audio, leave them in the comments. We want to thank y'all for joining us. We love when y'all engage with us on this. And if you want to follow along, you can follow Conversations with Mother on Instagram and Facebook. We are also part of House of Many Paths. We're the podcast extension of House of Many Paths. You can find that business over on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube as well. So you can get to know more of the people behind the stories and follow along with the conversations. So, but I'm going to turn it over to you to get us out of here.
Right? Hungry.
I'm hungry.
Well, you guys, thanks for sitting with us.
Hold on. Same time next week? No, remember, we are bi-weekly, so every other Saturday. We are live at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Our audios go up in the afternoon, same day. So if you want to join with us, it will be 2 weeks from today, which would be August the 15th, somewhere in there, whatever that Saturday is.
Why ask me to do math?
I know.
This morning. What's today? Yes, because
yes, August 15th.
Yeah.
So August 15th, we'll be live again. 9 a.m. with the next episode that we're going to be building up on. So thank you, Angel, for that question.
Yes. And like we said, please ask the questions. It'll give us a chance to like include it in whatever we're talking about next week or in 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks. Don't confuse them.
So, but thank you for sitting with us at the table today. If this conversation stirred something in you, maybe you don't have to solve it right now. It's okay. Just notice it. What have you been trying to tolerate? What did you learn to call normal? And what feeling have you been treating like a flaw when it may actually be information? What system helped write that story? What are you healing for? Therapy can be a place to understand your story. Self-healing can be a place to understand yourself in that story. But your story was not ever written in isolation. Your pain has context. Your body has wisdom. And your anger may have information. Rest matters. Joy matters. Your joy matters. Your survival matters. And your healing doesn't have to make you more obedient to what harmed you. It can help you become more honest, more connected, more free, and more fully alive. However you love, however you heal, you're welcome here. From my house to yours, be well.
Bye, y'all.